What's up everybody, this is Danny, and I got to do something kind of cool this week. Along with a few other people, I was able to see the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus a little bit early and get some hands-on time with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the difference between the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, and then I'm going to show you all the brand new features that you need to know about before you buy this phone. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let's talk about the design. They actually don't look much different than their predecessors, the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. They are very similar, same materials, the glass sandwich with the metal frame. They did clean up the sensors a bit and made everything a little bit cleaner, but they feel pretty much the same in the hand. The Galaxy S9 has a 5.8-inch display, while the Galaxy S9 Plus has a 6.2-inch display. They're both Quad HD in resolution, Super AMOLED Infinity displays. It's exactly what you expect here. They're beautiful. Just like you would expect, both of these phones have the fastest processor available right now, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor, but the difference is that the Galaxy S9 has 4 GB of RAM and the Galaxy S9 Plus has 6 GB of RAM. And just because their form factors are different, the Galaxy S9 is going to have a 3000 mAh battery and the Galaxy S9 Plus is going to have a 3500 mAh battery. I'm not gonna lie, right off the bat, looks like the Galaxy S9 has all the advantages here. Besides that form factor, I do really like the way that the S9 feels in the hand, just like the S8. I think it's that perfect form factor size, almost the same size as the iPhone X, which I really enjoy. I really think it's the perfect size for everyday use. The Infinity displays look amazing as usual. Punchy colors, those deep blacks, that great brightness. I can't wait to get this in to look at the display even more. There is a new color introduced this year. It's called Lilac Purple. So if you're looking for a lighter color scheme, this is gonna be the color for you. There's only gonna be 3 colors at launch in the US. I know this whole color thing internationally and everything. You're gonna get the Lilac Purple, you're gonna get the Midnight Black, and you're also gonna get Coral Blue, which is my favorite. And there's also gonna be a Titanium Gray version internationally. So international people get 1 extra color. They both come with 64 gigs of internal storage. There's an SD card slot there, so you can slap up to a 400 gigabyte micro SD card in there. The next new feature is one of my biggest complaints on the Galaxy S8, and that is the fingerprint scanner placement. They finally changed it, and now it's underneath the camera module, so it's a lot easier to get to, just as fast. I'm so glad they fixed this. This was one of my biggest complaints about the S8 and the S8 Plus. You still have Face Unlock and Iris scanning too, which is great. You kind of have security at all tiers. Of course, Iris is going to be the most secure, then Fingerprint, then Face Unlock, but it's nice to have the choice. Another big complaint that I have about Samsung phones and the Galaxy S8 was that it was a single speaker. It was really easy to cover up, but I'm really excited about this one. They finally have dual speakers now on the Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus. These dual stereo speakers are tuned by AKG, and they also have support for Dolby Atmos sound, which is awesome. When I tested it side by side with the older Galaxy S8, you can definitely hear a difference, and that Dolby Atmos sound gives it a spatial sound as well, so it's really nice to see. Of course, this is not the first dual speaker setup out on the market, but it's nice to see Samsung adopt this. This is a big deal for media consumption. And the icing on the cake to me is that the headphone jack is still there. Thank you, Samsung. The next feature is the one that I'm most excited about, and that is the new camera system. It's not the 12 megapixel sensor that makes a big deal, it's the dual aperture. So this is the first camera on a mobile phone that can switch between 2 apertures. So you can switch between f1.5 when you're in low light situations and f2.4 when you're in a well lit situation. This should really change the game when it comes to low light photography. I did take a couple of shots here in the studio that I was in, and you can see that the noise levels are good and the images are sharp. So you're gonna see a lot more images come from this phone, so make sure you stay tuned. If you're wondering how this works, in auto mode, it changes everything for you, so it just determines the best aperture for you depending on your surroundings. But if you use pro mode, you actually have a toggle for this here at the bottom. You can change in between the 2 apertures, change everything that you want, and get that perfect picture. So I'm actually really excited for this, and I can't wait to get my hands on this even more, to use it further, to see if it really changes low light photography. And I'm really excited for this because it could change the way mobile photography and videography is from now on. This is a game changer. The camera app looks pretty much the same. There is a dedicated food mode at the top and a couple of other toggles. And Samsung said this will shoot 4K 60 frames per second, so I'm really excited about that. Now the only bummer is that the Galaxy S9 only has a single camera, and the dual camera system only comes in the Galaxy S9 Plus. So to take advantage of all these features like live focus and all these different depth modes, you're gonna need the Galaxy S9 Plus. And I can't forget about the selfie lovers. It looks like the front camera is the same, 8 megapixels with f1.7 aperture. It's not all bad news for the Galaxy S9 without the dual camera, because there's one other killer feature on here, and that is 960 frames per second slow motion. We saw something very similar on the Sony XZ Premium last year, and the hardware approach is pretty much the same too, where Samsung built in DRAM into the sensor itself to help with the processing of the super slow motion. But the software is a little bit different here, and I think this is pretty cool, is that you can put it into auto mode and it puts this small square into the middle of the frame, so you don't have to do anything. As soon as it actually detects motion, it records for you, so you don't have to do anything and you won't miss that frame. It's a split-second recording, but it ends up being about 6 seconds. And here's an example of what this looks like. We were messing around with it and it looks pretty cool. I can see a lot of people having fun with this, and it's really easy to share as well. And another cool thing is that you can actually reverse the clip if you want to give it a little bit of a different look. So when the iPhone X came out and emoji was a big deal, I wasn't a super fan of it, but people made a big deal out of it. And Samsung has an answer to that on the Galaxy S9, and it is called AR emoji. So basically what you do is you take a picture of yourself and you actually become the emoji, which is pretty cool. And you modify yourself with different hairstyles and glasses and clothes. And this basically kind of reminds me of what Nintendo was doing. But what's cool is that you can have yourself as an emoji right on your keyboard after everything processes. So this is kind of a personalization thing that we've never seen before on other phones. It was really easy to do, and it also makes a ton of GIFs for you. So basically you're sharing yourself as a GIF and emojis, and I could see this being pretty fun. And even though I didn't get a chance to record it, you can do the same thing with an emoji where you're using that AR emoji and you can speak to it, record it, and things like that. So you're gonna see a lot of these videos on social media. You might love or hate Bixby, but Bixby actually gets a few features that I think some people will be interested in. The first feature that I can see myself using and being really useful is the live translation. So it's built right into the camera app, and you can see live translation happening in real time. And it's not just reading one thing, it's actually reading all of the different things here, as you can see on this sign. And you can do this for menus, you can do this for documents. So I can see this being really useful. So this next feature is probably the most interesting feature, and I had to try it out for myself. I had a lot of fun doing it, but it's basically a live makeup mode where in real time you can switch between different lipstick shades and eyebrows and blushes and all kinds of different stuff. And yes, I'm a bad looking woman, so you're welcome. I'm sure I'm gonna see this on social media everywhere. I'm surprised how well this was working, and they've partnered with Sephora, so if you like that look, you just hit one button and all of the products are right there for you to buy. So I can see this being kind of game changing for people that like this kind of stuff, and I can see where Samsung's going with AR, and this could be cool. So to kind of complete the package, this is exactly what you expect from a Samsung flagship. You're gonna get IP68 dust and water resistance, which is great. You still get that headphone jack like I mentioned before. You get fast wireless charging, and you get the newest version of Samsung Experience. And you do get Android 8.0 at launch. Kind of sad that it's not 8.1, but hopefully we see a software update there very soon. Even though I feel like this is an incremental upgrade, there are a lot of features here though that might make you want to jump from your previous smartphone now. So if you want one of these, pre-orders go live March 2nd and they'll be in stores March 16th. So which one would you choose, the S9 or the S9 Plus? I mean, if it were me, I'd probably pick the S9 Plus, even though it's gonna be more expensive for sure, but you get the dual camera system, you get a bigger battery, you get more RAM, so it looks like it's a little bit more future-proof. But I would say if you had an S8 or an S8 Plus, then you might need to think about if these new features are important to you, because I think they're very similar. But if you have something like an S6 or an S7, then I think that this is the phone that you're gonna be upgrading to, because I think it's pretty solid. All right, guys, thank you for watching this. Hope you enjoyed this early look at these two phones, and stay tuned for a lot more. So you're gonna get camera comparisons, unboxings, full reviews, all of that here. So make sure you subscribe, hit that like button if you did enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next one.